Okay guys, we were changing the oil in my daughter's 2020 Toyota Corolla. We're using a Fram oil filter XG4967. It's good for, I think, 20,000 miles. So I always like to let the oil cool down a little bit. They just drove over to our house today from Orlando, so it's a little hot. It's good to change the oil when it's hot. It loosens all the contaminants up. It's easier when you drain the oil to get everything out of the car. Okay guys, I got these homemade ramps that lifts the car up a couple inches, just enough to get underneath it. There's ramps you could buy, but they kind of lift you up pretty high in the air. These are kind of easy to drive up on. Got a little lip on it to tell you when to stop the car. Once you get it up on the ramps, we'll block the back wheels so it can't roll. All right guys, we got the car up on ramps. I use a towel that I lay on top of the driveway when I drain the oil. We got the back wheels with a blocked off so they can't roll backwards. Very easy, very safe way to do it. Okay guys, there's a small panel up here you have to take off to change the oil. It takes a 10mm socket. There's a couple of bolts in here. I call them screw bolts because you could use a Phillips or you can use a socket wrench. This cover comes right off. This car only has 57,000 miles on it. We've been using synthetic oil. I guess it comes from the factory now, standard synthetic oil. But it's nice, everything is so clean underneath. There's no oil leaks. There's nothing in there right now that causes any oil drips. It's kind of nice. All the other cars we have all have some kind of oil leak. There we go. You keep all your screw bolts together, but you can see everything is just like spotless. It's beautiful, really nice. Here's your oil drain plug, 14mm, and then here's your oil filter, and that just basically unscrews, and it's really nice because the oil doesn't go anywhere, it just drips straight down, so you can catch all that in your oil pan. So when I undo the oil drain plug, I usually let it drain for like 10 or 15 minutes. You can just every single drop out of there, and I will still leave the drain plug the oil drain plug off, so it's easier to drain. Lets air through the system. There's no trapped air. Also, I will crack the oil fill on top of the motor so it lets air pull through without any issues. It was really tight, so I used a pair of pliers to crack the seal on it. And I'll just leave this cracked a little bit, like I said, so the oil will drain easier. Okay guys, we got our oil pan in place. Got the 14mm socket ready to go. And got some paper towels. I already cracked it loose, and then I tightened it back up again, just to make the video go easier. But basically it's kind of windy out, so you gotta kind of move this oil catch pan around so that so your oil won't go on the tile or the driveway. So I'm going to loosen this up. This is probably the only messy part of the whole thing. When that oil first jumps out, it's going to get all over your glove, and the oil is very hot in this situation, so you have to be careful. You have to kind of get your hand out of there as quickly as possible, like that. There we go. And you just let this drain. I'm going to let it drain probably for about 15 minutes before we get the filter off, and then put the plug back in, put my filter on. I'm going to use a little bit of petroleum jelly for the gasket on the filter, but you're supposed to hand tighten it. I tighten it up a little bit with a filter wrench just to give that little extra quarter turn, and never had any trouble with leaks. So I'm going to clean the plug, clean my fingers, and then let it drain, and then we're going to get that filter off. You can see the filter and the oil draining as we're videotaping. And that's pretty much it. Okay guys, I go one step further and I use a thread sealant on the threads of the oil drain plug, just to make sure there's no leaks. Most people don't do it. It just depends on your preferences, but I like to make sure there's no chance of an oil leak coming out of that drain plug. As you can see, I got a little bit of thread sealant on the threads, so when I when I screw it back in, that'll definitely seal those threads up. Okay guys, I had this filter on pretty tight from the previous time, so I'm using this wrench, filter wrench, or strap wrench I guess is what you call it, to get it loosened, but definitely on there a little too tight. There we go. Okay, we got our drain catch pan in place. We're going to undo the oil filter now. I had to loosen it more with the wrench, the strap wrench, very tight. So I'm going to crack this loose and let the oil drain out. There we go. Very nice the way Toyota has it set up. Very easy for cleanup. Won't make a mess. It's an XG4967 oil filter. Once that drains, we'll finish taking the filter off. I'm just going to drop it in the oil catch pan, and you can see it's still dripping. So I'm going to, like I said, let it drip probably for about 15-20 minutes. Really not necessary, but when it comes to the oil change, I want to get all the oil out of it. Like I said, the car was very hot, so you just got to be careful, and evidently that's the best way to drain the oil is when the motor oil is fairly warm. So I'm letting all the oil drain down into the oil pan from the motor since it was running, and that's why you're going to see all those drips. All that oil is working its way down to the oil pan. So I'm going to finish taking off the filter. Very nice, very easy cleanup. I love it. Rags, we're going to clean this up. Okay, we're going to put our oil pan drain plug back in. I let it drip for about 15 minutes. Should be good. So I'm going to screw this in. Of course, you're going to get oil on you. You can see the thread sealant on there. This finger tight, and I'm going to wipe it down. Okay, we're going to tighten it up. There we go. And we're going to regroup back at the bench. We're going to get the gasket lubed up and put it back on the car. This time I'm going to do a really tight hand turn instead of with the strap, because I had it on really tight. And if you put it on too tight, I've seen where the I seen where the gasket got pinched and the car lost oil pressure and the motor blew up. So if you over tighten it, it's not good. If you under tighten it, it'll leak obviously, but once you start the car after you refill it with oil, that's when you check to make sure there's nothing leaking from there. So you can get a shot where the oil filter goes. Yeah, you can see there. Never had any leaks, never problems with the gaskets, and I've always had good luck getting filters off when I use it. Like I said, I tried engine oil, but I've had a few instances where it would not come off. And that's pretty much it. Just screw the filter back on place. On its mounting bracket. Alright guys, we're going to screw the oil filter back in place. Got the Vaseline on the gasket. And we should be good. Alright, I'm going to Alright, tighten it by hand. Should be good. Should not see any leaks. And now all we do is top the oil off and start the car. Okay guys, we're putting in 4.4 quarts of Mobil 1. This oil is good for 25,000 miles. The operator's manual tells me it's 4.4 quarts. We got our funnel here ready to fill. I'm going to put it in a quart or two and then jump underneath the car and make sure nothing's dripping out. And once we get just under 4.5 quarts in there, we're going to start the car up and check for leaks. Okay, we're going to put in about just a quart or two. Make sure it's not leaking from underneath. Okay, I'm going to duck underneath and check. Make sure nothing's leaking from below. Alright, looks good. We're going to top it off. Bring it down to, see, this is a 5 quart. So we're going to leave just over half a quart in there that doesn't go in. In other words, just right at 4.4 quarts. Alright, I put a little mark on it so I know where to stop. That'll leave me roughly a little bit more than half a quart left. Okay, looks good. Now we're going to start the car. We're going to run it. We're going to jump underneath, make sure there's no leaks, and then we will put it at ground level, and then we will let it sit for about 5 minutes and we'll check the oil level. Alright, we're going to start the car and make sure there's no leaks. No leaks, I think we're good. Yep, we look good. No leaks. We're all set. We ran the car and then made sure there's no leaks. So you're all good. Don't forget to put your oil pan back on. Oil pan cover. little thing goes under the tab here, and you put your screws back in. Oil change. Just finger tighten it for now. Obviously don't over tighten them. Metal tab in there. And that's it, guys. Now you're going to put the car down on the level, run it for a few minutes, and then park it on a level ground, and you're going to check the oil level. Make sure it's topped off. Okay, guys, I was able to check the oil. I let it sit for about an hour, and on the dipstick between the two divots there, it was maybe 3/4 of the way up. So I put in a quart of oil, but it's got to be between these two divots on here. I don't know if you could see it in the video. The problem is when I would check the oil, each time I pulled the dipstick, it would bring oil up into the tube, the dipstick tube, and it would obscure the view of checking the oil. So it's kind of complicated to check, but if you see now, I don't know if you can see the detail, but it's kind of, oil is like all over the place. So you really can't get an accurate reading. You have to let the oil settle down in the car for about an hour to get an accurate reading. So I was able to get one accurate reading, and I needed about another 1/4 of a quart. So it's perfect. Now I got it perfect. So it's just very difficult to read unless the car sits for about an hour. Okay, guys, we're going to reset the needs maintenance message on the little dash computer here. It's just a matter of hitting the OK and the arrow buttons. So I'm going to hit the arrow button to the right. We're going to go to vehicle settings down here. Press and hold the OK button. It'll pop you in there. Then you scroll down to schedule maintenance, hit OK, and reset data. We want to reset it because this means we changed the oil. Reset complete, and then you hit it back. Schedule maintenance, we're good, and we're done. That's it. Let's get back to the normal screen. There's your normal screen. We're good. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you're able to get some good pointers on changing your oil, but it's very easy job, but you got to pay attention to the details for your 2020 Toyota Corolla. Thanks for watching.